Congressman, good to see you. Do you agree with the decision Secretary Blinken made to, at least for now, postpone his trip to China?
Yes, I think that's the right decision. China got caught with their hand in the cookie jar here, and I think we need more explanation, frankly, from the Biden administration, especially since it's clear that they were aware of this for several days. But the fact that they have come into U.S. airspace and violated our sovereignty, and frankly, I think there's certainly a question of the privacy of Americans here. I think there are a lot of questions that need to be answered. And so I definitely think it was the right thing to do to pause this trip. China is our greatest geopolitical threat. And the reason Speaker McCarthy and the House Republican majority have created the Select Committee on China is for reasons like this.
Yeah.
We are, in a serious situation with them, and we need to take them serious as an adversary.
The balloon was spotted earlier this week over the state of Montana, which is where 100 intercontinental ballistic missiles are buried in missile silos at the Malmstrom Air Force Base. Are you confident that the Chinese government was not able to access any top secret information or military secrets?
I am not, and I think there's serious concern. I mean, obviously, the Pentagon is aware. I think, there are questions as to why this was not shot down, the spy balloon shot down as soon as we were aware it came into American airspace. I think there are a lot of questions still to be answered, and I think obviously the Biden administration should work closely with Congress here to provide those answers as quickly as possible.
On that subject, the Pentagon says that the decision was made not to shoot the balloon down, at least not right now, because debris could injure or kill people on the ground, seriously damage buildings. Take a listen to what former Defense Secretary under the Trump administration, Mark Esper, said about that subject, shooting it down on CNN earlier today.
My interest would be not necessarily shooting it down, but bringing it down so that we can capture the equipment and understand exactly what they're doing. Are they taking pictures? Are they intercepting signals? What are they doing? And what is the level of technical capability?
What do you think?
No, I don't think he's wrong at all. Obviously, the Chinese are saying one thing, that this is about weather, and obviously we have great concern that this is about spying. And so I think if we're able to, bring this down safely, certainly, and examine the balloon and the technology that is being used as part of it, certainly that is something that would, I'm sure, be of great interest to the Pentagon.
Former Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger, who's also a lieutenant colonel in the Air National Guard, he suggested that maybe the Chinese government is trying to make the U.S. shoot down the balloon so the Chinese can get a better idea of the U.S. air capabilities. Can planes get up that high and function in that way? Do you think that's possible?
Look, I think we could play a lot of hypotheticals and what ifs here, but the bottom line is this balloon should not be flying over U.S. airspace, and the fact that it continues to unimpeded is a problem. And so I think the Biden administration needs to act to bring this to a swift resolution here, and certainly. As a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, I am very interested in getting answers to many of these questions.
What kind of surveillance does the United States do over countries like China? I imagine we do, the United States does quite a bit. I don't know if it's like we limit it to satellites in outer space or what, but what might the counter argument or the greater context be on that?
Look, I'm not going to get into all of the dynamics. Obviously, every country does certain things to protect their own interests. But I think the bottom line here is that this is a very clear violation of international law, very clear violation of American sovereignty and airspace, and we have an obligation to address it. And so I think, for the immediate, we need to bring this to a swift resolution. And it just again speaks volumes to the situation with respect to China. They are our greatest geopolitical threat. They are a threat economically. They are a threat militarily, and we need to take it serious. And that is why, as part of the House Republican majority, we created this select committee on China, and we are going to be raising a lot of questions about this, including this latest incident.